Peace, family. This is your boy Gerald. It is Thursday afternoon. I think it's the 21st. Worked overtime last night, family. Got a very much. Yeah, 21st. And I am enjoying my day off. A little dim in here, but you know what? I'm not going to be rude because I was actually contemplating if I was going to come online, put something out. But no better time than the present. So, how has your week been, fam? I hope that it has been constant progression, sidestepping the negative, staying grounded because you're speaking your truth, and it's time to give yourself a pat on the back because your week is about to come to a close. But you blink twice, family, and it will be about family because some of you are going to get on the road next week. Some of you are going to have family come by. And some of you are going to just be thankful, take in the moment, and prepare to get out there in that crowd because of the machine. We know that is Black Friday. But you're going to do what you're going to do, and you're entitled to do it. But that's not the reason why I put this video out. The reason I put this video out is as much as I've echoed through the years, you do realize, family, you blink twice again and we'll be in the last month, the 12th month. And that caused me to ponder because I was reflecting and I said, well, 6 months from now, it will be May 21st. May 21st, 2020. That is also a significant day in my life. 6 months from now, very special day for me because my firstborn will be celebrating another milestone of life. But nonetheless, my question to you is this: have you received the validation for the direction you have taken your life in 2019? Have you taken the time to stop, to be still, to reflect, to do self inventory? Because it was just yesterday, it was January 1, family. Figuratively, it was January. You were thinking about the things as the new year was brought into. And you were pondering of the things you wanted to navigate and the things that you wanted to graduate from completion. Now, since 1 January to 21 November, how much have you stayed true through it all? I mean, I know that it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to put things by priority or compartmentalize what we deem important. because we tend to live in the now. I got that. I understand that. But how can we fully understand where we're headed if we don't know what we're standing on that makes our foundation? I let that sink in for a minute. Because the moment that you decide to take inventory, to take stock, to take accountability for what is compared to what isn't, can you measure and see the milestones that make you? So let's do that again. It is 21 November. 6 months from now, it will be May 21st. You would have been 6 months in, which is half of the year left to complete. Have you pondered? Have you decided this is where I'm going and this is what I need and this is what's required to get me there? That's the hard part. The easy part is the action, the commitment to self. Because as you stay the course, with or without your consent, everything that was not will be pulled, will be purged, will be blocked so that the end goal comes to pass. We're just talking about your legacy, family. That is the greatest thing ever. We're talking you. And the more that you focus on it, guess what else you'll be able to see? You'll see how great your smile is. You'll see the price of what peace costs. And you'll truly be able to understand why your voice is determined by what you convey, not the volume of the octave. A lot of people get it misconstrued and they think that if I turn up the volume, I dictate the focus, when in actuality, it's just the opposite. Because a person can command a room with silence by dexterity of the behavior of you. So I was just curious, how many of you are gearing up? I know, I can hear right now somebody saying, Gerald, I don't have time to focus on me. I got to gear up on this grocery list for next week. Because I know by Tuesday I'm going to start getting my prep work done. I know y'all, see, that's one thing I know about my channel. My channel, I got some, I got some good cooks on this channel. I love to cook too. Don't get it twisted. Oh yes, I can cook too. Just look back in the thumbnails. Just see me. I always, I'm hooking that turkey up. I'm old school. Gotta go get my greens, and I gotta pull the stems, and I gotta do it right with the seasoning. I gotta make sure I got to have my ham alongside, and then I gotta make sure my macaroni's on point because everything flows together. But I gotta have my two different gravies. Yeah, I make my gravy by scratch. Oh yes, sir. And then eventually I'll figure out what my dessert of choice may be. Now that is not my strong suit. But as long as I got a Walmart around the corner, I'll pick one up. Probably pick two up. I don't know. Because the one thing about this upcoming celebration period known as Thanksgiving, it validates how grateful you are throughout the commitment that you've made all along. But that's what growth is all about. That's what change is determined. And guess what? That's something you don't need permission from nobody. I think the hardest thing about change is your environment has to conform to it by free will. You ain't got to like it, but you will notice it positively or negatively. Because, see, that will make the perception, and the perception will be the validation for those who have given, that you've given access to, and those who have used it only to dictate the narrative through manipulation. It's sad but true. Because the reality is, December 31st, 2019, there are going to be a lot of goodbyes, and there are going to be a lot of hellos too. It just depends on the paradigm in which you stand. But I know that 2020 is going to be a big year for a lot of people. It's going to be major transformation because you may had to use 2019 as the gearing up process. And 2020 is going to be the year all things in place will set up the narrative of the action. So I congratulate you. I congratulate you. It's like they say your proverbial ship is going to come in. And all those seeds that you've sown, all that effort that came from within yourself because it came from a pure place, your harvest is there. Now, I will say this, be prepared indirectly to shock a lot of people. Also, be prepared that you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be bewildered too because they are going to never acknowledge through their mouth what they see, but they will always have conversation behind closed doors. Now, some of y'all may know that as people be known as haters or people that are envious. And really, what you're watching is people that see that you are the living example of work that they have yet to do. All things are possible, family, as long as you have air in your lungs. You're able to cognitively use that beautiful mind. Nothing is stopping you from you. Nothing. Nothing. And I'm going to stand on that because I know you can do it. Now, on the flip side, I'll say this 2020 may be the year that all you want is peace of mind. Not to sound trite or vindictive, you just might want to be just left the hell alone. This might be the upcoming year that you are going to proverbially shut the emotional door because you're able to step off the emotional roller coaster. Who am I talking to? You know why? Because now you understand what love is because you're loving yourself. You're putting in the work and you deserved it. But it takes a little bit. We all got to go through peaks and valleys for us to see the clarity of what we need. Sometimes the hardest thing that a person can ever accomplish is acceptance. That is why pride has such an impact on the human dynamic. The two strongest phrases that the human dynamic shares: I love you, I was wrong. You realize how much peace comes from those words? You realize? But I'll talk about that later on because someone asked, Joe, are you going to do a end of the year video? Yeah, I'm going to do one. Been doing them for the last 6 years. I'm not going to change that. But nonetheless, I wanted to just put that in your, I just want to pose that question for the intended heart, intended mind. You thinking about the next 6 months? Because the moment that you start envisioning the next 6 months, you'll be already living it. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. I'm telling you, family, major change, major transformation by major validation. And all we're doing is talking about you. You know why? Because you're blessed and you're worth it. Love to hear from you. Peace.